Hey there!
Ahoy hoy!
Welcome to Aren't We Special. I'm Lee Service.
And I'm Aaron Hill.
Every week on Aren't We Special, we take turns choosing a stand-up special. We watch it, and then we talk about it.
Yeah, but it's not a review. We're not
Nope.
critics. We're comics. Talking about stand-up comedy.
Stand-up comedy, my favorite art form.
Not mine, but we're still here.
Close second.
Close second.
All right. Enjoy the show.
I enjoy interpretive dance. Oh, mama.
What's up?
Here again.
Here we are.
Back in the hot seat.
Back in the saddle.
What's cracking?
Episode 12.
We did it.
Can you believe it?
Season 1 grand
Season 1
finale.
in the books. I'm feeling, you know what? I'm feeling surprisingly good considering that I'm almost 44 years old, and yesterday I snowboarded during the day. I played volleyball at night, and then I had a few drinks last night.
Goddamn, son.
And I was here at 9 a.m.
Are you having a midlife, two-thirds life crisis?
For sure. Absolutely. Yeah. You?
Not to put any limitations on you.
No,
you live to 150, bro. You get after it.
Yeah. Dude, I have braces. I'm definitely having a midlife crisis.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Do you do anything that makes you think that you're having a... You're a bit younger than me, though, are you?
2 years young. Well, okay. I'm turning 43 in a week.
Oh.
So pretty close.
We're basically the same age.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm like, what do I want to do with my life? You know?
But do you catch yourself doing things where you're like, oh, maybe this is weird?
No, because I feel like I just don't have the resources to do anything weird. Do you ever feel like that? Like, I don't know how you grew up, but like, not to be all whatever, but like, didn't have a lot of resources, put it that way. So it's like, in a way, you're kind of handcuffed as to how much trouble you can really get into when you don't have access to much.
Okay.
Which I think is why, like, a lot of rich people, everyone thinks they want to be super loaded and rich, but they all turn out to be dumpster fires.
Yeah.
Not all of them, but a lot of them, because they can just do all this. They can go off the deep end.
Yeah.
Dude. They can afford to just call in to work sick for 2 weeks and go on a bender. It's like, I can't do that. I got bills to pay. I'm like on the straight and narrow, not necessarily by choice, but I think it's probably not the worst thing for me, because I think I definitely could go off the deep end if I had access to that kind of stuff, you know, that lifestyle.
So wait, what does that have to do with the midlife crisis?
Well, if I had a lot of money right now, I would probably spend it, but I just don't.
Because you're thinking like midlife crisis guy, like buy a Porsche and...
I'm going to buy a stereo. That's my thing. Like I've
a
decided,
home stereo?
Yeah, home stereo, because I've never had a good one. I've got studio monitors, but that's just for mixing music.
Yeah, you need a good home stereo.
Yeah, because the mixing music, it takes all the gloss off. It's not meant for listening. It's meant for reviewing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I've never had a good stereo. And I'm such a music guy, and... I'm so sick of streaming. I bought an MP3 player.
Nice.
Like a good, like $130. It's kind of the best one that you can get now that Apple's not really making them anymore.
Okay.
That's on the way from China. I'm stoked about that.
Yeah.
I plan on getting a DVD and a CD player.
Yeah.
And getting back into that. We got a book trader down the road that sells all these old used CDs for like $6.
Yep.
It's just like, I just can't wait to get back into it, right? Because I don't know about you. Every time I try to stream anything, it's just pulling teeth,
It's
man.
worthless.
Either you got to sign in, or you got to fix your VPN, or it stops like 6 minutes into your episode, and you're just like, all you want to do at the end of the long day is just watch an episode of something.
Yeah.
And then it just stalls on you, and you're like, I want to burn everything down. It's just horrific.
None of it has any worth to me, because I'm just like, there's so many options.
Yes.
Why am I going to listen to a song on Spotify that's only... So when I have all of Spotify to peruse, and like that's like I can't even watch a show because I'll sit there and just look at all the things that I could watch for an hour, because that's more exciting to me than watching the actual show. Is just to like
I'm going back to
browse.
the old ways, baby.
Yeah,
physical media. I got a Blu-ray player. I got a Blu-ray. Jacob's Ladder.
You got one movie.
I don't have a player yet, but now I'm pot committed. I gotta get it.
You got the score down the street here.
Yeah, I know. I've been.
Dude, I was looking at a VCR.
Yep.
But then I'm thinking, like, is it worth it? Because, you know, you see all the old VHS tapes, and you're like, it's that nostalgia. And I'm like, man, how cool would it be to watch Speed 2 on VHS? Maybe not Speed 2, but Speed, the first Speed was amazing. It's grainy, and it's got all those nostalgic
nice.
attributes. And but then I'm like, man, these are gonna be old and dusty, and I'm gonna buy one at a thrift store, and it's gonna wreck my VCR. And now I'm gonna have to now I'm taking my VCR to a VCR repairman somewhere, and
it's possible. And surprisingly, VCRs are way more expensive than Blu-ray players, than DVD players. Yeah. I don't know why. I guess they don't really make them anymore. So you're kind of left at the mercy of what's out there, and they're not cheap.
I think people from our generation are craving that 90s nostalgia. And I heard someone talking about it recently. Forget what it was on. Definitely a podcast. Forget which one. But the 90s was the last era where it wasn't so much the content, it was the fact that people would consume this stuff as a group. It was like a group activity. It was a shared experience, because it was like, oh, the new whatever album is out. You would probably buy the CD and listen to it with a bunch of friends. Or there were certain movies that everybody saw at the theater. You know what I mean? Like, who didn't see Titanic in the theater?
Yep.
Who didn't see The Lion King in the theater? They were like these shared experiences, and so now when we look back on them from our new world of streaming and everything, is like, oh, I saw that 5 years ago. I'm never going to watch it again. You know, like rewatching things. Like I remember watching this thing. I think I watched Aladdin every day after school for like all of grade 7. Like I was probably way too old to be even watching Aladdin, but like I would put that shit on every single day. Get home from school, Aladdin, snack, let's go.
Beauty.
Yeah.
Did you have a thing for what was her name?
Jasmine. Oh, hell yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah, and maybe the monkey was cool too. Not in the same way as Jasmine, but great movie. I mean,
well, yeah. I mean, God, we used to have a mixtape of Simpsons episodes on VHS, and I watched those just day in and day out. So like the monorail and just some of the old Conan O'Brien era Simpsons classics. Like I can recite them by heart. It's there's something special about it, right? And we've lost, media isn't special anymore. And you know what else? The fuckers can just edit it at any time, right? Like we watched Star Wars. I introduced my girlfriend to the original trilogy, and I'm watching them, and I'm like, I don't even recognize this film anymore. I have the VHSs at my mom's house.
Right.
What I see on this screen is not, it's all digitized and silly, and there's these stupid characters, and there's like pivotal scenes that have been altered to be to be less offensive. And I'm like, fuck you, get your hands off of your fucking movies. These are mine. Like, you can't change them halfway through.
Yeah. Well, George Lucas went a little bit batty, didn't he?
Yeah. I think Spielberg a little bit too. Yeah. But I'm like, why would I even give you the option to do that? Like, I want to own something like that. You know what I mean? And if I'm watching it more than once, like with any good piece of art, I want to do that. It's well worth the price of just buying.
Yeah, because you bought a tangible thing, and you're like, even if I don't love this the first time I experience it, I'm committed because I'm invested. You know, I remember buying a Daft Punk CD.
Yeah.
Because I thought it was going to be a punk CD.
Ah, that's awesome.
And it was Homework, I think, where the cover is like, it's like the back of a leather jacket, and it says Daft Punk. So I'm like, leather jacket, it says punk. It's gonna be punk music. I'm like 14 years old. I take it home, I'm like, this is not punk music.
That's fantastic.
But I was like, you know what? I spent whatever, $16.99 on this.
Yep.
I'm gonna listen to it.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Did you get into it?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. Daft Punk rocks.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I was the same with, I bought Fountains of Wayne. Remember that song, Stacy's Mom?
Yeah. She's
So I
got
was
it
like,
going on.
yeah, I was like, that song's pretty good. I'll buy that fucking record. And
One hit
it
wonder.
definitely was, none of the songs sounded anything like Stacy's Mom.
No.
But there were some good gems on that record.
Yeah?
Yeah, there really were. Some that I still listen to today. And I'm like, what? I would have never known, you know? And yeah, I miss that. It's an exploration. It's a journey you go on.
Yeah.
As opposed to just, you know, give me the best of this. No, stop. Now the best of this. But it's like it's too entitled, you know? You gotta be pot committed, I think, a little bit. And in the end, you end up getting rewarded, I think.
Going to Blockbuster on a Friday
dude.
night,
Yeah.
picking out a movie, a couple movies for the weekend.
The other beautiful thing is if it sucked, you could all just talk shit about it in real time.
Yeah.
That's a real skill that I miss participating in. I used to be really good at that, you know what I mean? You make the sarcastic remarks during the show and you make your friends laugh and that's what it is. But now, if something sucks, you just change the channel,
Yeah.
you know?
No, well, yeah, not even like like if it's not entirely just gripping and like in the first 10 minutes, I'm gonna change it.
100%.
Yeah, it's bad, and as a result, I really don't watch anything anymore. Like I can't tell you the last full movie that I've sat through.
Well, how about deep cuts? My favorite songs are deep cuts. I would never know about deep cuts if I only ever streamed stuff,
Yeah,
right? I love a deep cut.
it's crazy how kids consume music now. Like,
Well, I read an article that said Gen Z, or whatever these new whippersnappers are hungry for DVD, CDs and MP3s because they're nostalgic for what their parents did. Doesn't that make you feel like you're 44? Like you're at a 2/3 life crisis?
like they're like just by observing the way that we consumed things, they
Yeah, I think so. And I think it's kind of like that with most, like when I was growing up in the 90s, we all idolized like the 70s lifestyle. We would watch Dazed and Confused on repeat, right? Be like, oh, those are the days. Everything sucks now. In the 70s, you should have been born in the 70s. But I think now kids are going back to the 90s and being like, we want that. And I think it's just a natural thing that kids always do.
Yeah, there always is that. And it isn't, they used to say it was like a 20-year cycle.
Yeah, it seems that way.
Because I remember like living in Toronto in the early 2000s, and there was definitely an 80s, like an 80s bump at that time, where a lot of like the fat and like girls were wearing like neon stuff and like weird 80s patterns, and but then it comes back around. It's weird though, there hasn't really, like if you showed photos of high school students, for example, from 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, I think you could easily tell which decade those are coming from based on how they're dressed and stuff like that.
Sure.
But since 2000,
It's all over the place.
it's just like
It's whatever you want.
the internet made things so different.
Everything's demassified, as my communications professor said.
Demassified. What's that
The
mean?
demassification of media, right? Well,
Oh, you're not reaching the masses anymore. You're getting little
niche.
pockets.
It's all
and
just
that's
niches.
right. Yeah, it's like back to enjoy in the 90s are nostalgic because you're enjoying things as a group. Now it's like, oh, my favorite band is Picture Frame, and they're from Sweden, and they have 4 listeners, and I'm one of them.
Yeah,
and they're my favorite band.
Yeah.
And like that's cool
Yeah.
in a way. That's very cool, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, we don't have those things that we kind of all come together on.
Well, it gets into all this like identity stuff too, right? Where it's like, oh, I'm my favorite. I only listen to grind, emo, scream core. That's like run back through a set of who knows. It's just so bullshit with all the labels now.
Yeah.
But it's almost like you're trying to stand out, but it sucks because now no one knows what the hell you're talking about.
Yeah.
And I miss the days of like, let's all watch Titanic, like you say.
Yeah.
And we have something to talk about. You know what I mean? It's like, what good is it to be so individual if no one even knows what the hell you're even talking about?
And then it bleeds into the masses, sort of like, for example, like I don't watch football, so I didn't watch the Super Bowl, but like I'd never even heard of Bad Bunny.
Yeah.
Never even heard of him.
Yeah.
And he's the lead, like like who are the other Super Bowl performers? Michael Jackson.
Yeah, sure.
You know, like who? Bad Bunny? I've never even heard of this person.
Yeah, it's true.
That's
it's true.
crazy.
You may have heard
I'm
some
just
of
out
his,
of touch? Or?
Well, you may have heard some of his music, but I don't think he's like a...
He's not a superstar. Is he? Maybe he is.
I don't know. Here's the thing. I think I recognize some of the tunes, but they're not like lyrically driven. I think they're like dance songs.
Okay.
So I think you might recognize the beats.
Okay.
But I don't
Does
know.
it go? Boom, bop, bop,
I think it goes...
bop. Oh, I've heard that one.
Yeah, it's a jam.
I do know that one. Okay. Well, yeah, it's a crazy time. And I think especially people our age are sort of, we miss those. They were simpler times.
Yeah, and I'm just so sick of my streaming not working when I needed to stream. Sunday nights, it's high traffic internet time for everybody, so my shit cuts out that's when you want to be watching the show, is Sunday nights.
You have bad internet.
But I don't, it's just standard internet for these parts.
Okay.
But it's completely out of my control, and now every time I try to watch something, it fucking sucks.
You got to get that Starlink, dude.
I guess.
It's expensive.
Yeah.
I'm paying like $170 a month.
I'm going to buy a DVD player, and I'm going to buy a bunch of DVDs for $170 a month.
That's cool too. You know what I want? A Discman. I was looking out on Marketplace at a Sony Panasonic Shockwave.
Oh yeah, I had
Discman,
Shockwave.
because then you bring an aux cable and you can go into your stereo or whatever.
60
and I have CDs.
60 seconds anti-skip protection.
Oh,
Bro.
big time. I remember I had one without the skip, and you're walking to school like,
Yeah, exactly.
like, don't skip.
Your arm is the
Or
shock
you're
absorber.
in a car, you're trying to shock absorb it in the car or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll get there. Anyway, so that brings me to a fun point, which is that, part of the thing I love about physical media is like you pick something, you buy in, and then you commit. Mm-hmm. Now, let me tell you something. Out of all the specials we've watched for Aren't We Special, I think if I didn't have to commit because we were doing a podcast, I would have shut off like 70% of them.
For sure.
Within the first 10 minutes.
For sure.
Especially the one we watched this week.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, let me tell you something. So we did John Early.
John Early, now more than ever.
Now more than ever. I've never laughed so hard at the first 10, 15 minutes of a comedy special that we've watched. And I was dying thinking about you watching it and cursing my name. Thinking, why does Aaron hate me? Oh, man, I had such a good time by myself watching. So, a little background.
Yeah.
I don't know who he is, but I have Crave. I have a 3-month
Okay.
special for the Crave streaming, and I think this is the last month. So I'm like, well, this is one on Crave. I might not have access to it. Let's watch it while I can. I didn't know the guy's like, that guy, sure, let's pick this one.
Yep.
Comes out just super flamboyant.
Over the top.
Over the top, gay.
Yeah.
Singing fucking not show tunes, but like sexy music right off the gate. It was a lot.
Yeah, I was kind of like, what are we doing? And no homophobic stuff. We love the gays.
Love them.
Just that he comes out and does. So first of all, it was an interesting special. I actually didn't completely hate it. And I'm not saying that because he's gay I would hate it. But when he came out and they did that first song, I was like, okay, what are we doing? Because I felt like it was almost like it was like a drag show, but he wasn't in drag.
Yeah.
That was the vibe I got. Because he's not like an especially good singer.
Right.
The band was good.
Band was excellent.
But like to come out and do a song like that, well, he's in the leather pants and he's like, sticking his butt out and stuff. And
yeah.
And the song, it was a weird song. What was that song?
I don't know, but the point was, it's like, I'm here, I'm sexy, deal with it.
Yeah.
Like, that was the vibe.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, what's going on here? Because but you know what? When he started going into material, and so he's obviously gay. Like, there's no question of that. Like, you watch that song and you're like, okay. But then and this special is a few years old, right?
Yeah.
Because he was talking about the Trump. I think it was timely at the time with the Trump grab him by the pussy.
Yep.
Was hot off the press.
Yep.
And I thought it was pretty funny how he talked about how that recording of Trump is like him trying to convince his friends that he's not gay.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
Like, yeah.
In the locker room.
That was actually pretty funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, something I've found I haven't watched a lot of like gay and lesbian specials, but something that I have noticed is they speak to the audience as if the audience is entirely also gay, which is, I'm like, why would you do that? Why would you kind of paint yourself into like, you can still be gay, but I guess that kind of sort of becomes your market, and that kind of becomes your thing. I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know. I just like, you lose me when you like, it's again, I'm not a homophobe, but when you're a guy and you start talking about how good anal feels, you lose me. You know.
Well.
Funny how he cut to his. I kind of felt bad for his parents a little bit, to be honest. Not that I think that they're ashamed of him or something like that, but like, you know, how he's like put the spotlight on his parents and
yeah. But like, what would you have him not talk about anal?
No.
I mean, that's his life experience, right? You should be able to talk about your life experience.
I don't want to hear a girl talk about anal either. Like, I don't know. Maybe I just don't. I'm not a fan of anal.
Have you ever tried it?
No. No.
Jeez, Lee, don't knock it till you take one up.
I am having a midlife crisis, so. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know either. I think he's probably doing.
This is a tough one to talk about.
I think he's probably just like. I mean, he got an HBO special. Yeah. And he's got a theater full of people in Brooklyn. Like, he's clearly not hurting for fans.
So, is he also an actor?
Yeah, I think he is. I wasn't sure. I looked it up a little bit after. I don't know. I can't remember anything he was in.
Because when you said John Early, I wasn't signed into Crave. I had to get the login from my wife, and but I typed his name into YouTube because I was like, "What's this guy about?"
Yeah.
And when I saw him doing a character.
Yeah.
Have you seen any of like his character work or anything? He has like this. He has this female character that he does, and she has like the "Can I talk to a manager" hair, where it's like spiky at the back and that was pretty funny.
Okay.
Yeah, he's definitely a character. I actually enjoyed the sketches that he worked in to the special. Did you like them?
Oh, okay. No.
Oh, you didn't like them?
I didn't think anything was funny for the first 25 minutes.
Okay.
I was laughing really hard.
At the thought of me watching it?
Yes. But I thought it was actually, I literally wrote down, okay, so when he shone the light on his parents in the crowd, and it was kind of embarrassing for them, and he kind of tagged that with, "I hated growing up," and then he went back and I thought that was like, that's kind of funny. I literally wrote down dog shit jokes. I hate the first 20 minutes. They sucked for stand-up comedy. He had a lot of other things going on. It was more of a variety show, really. So we should differentiate, right? Like it wasn't like he did a fucking tight hour of stand-up jokes. He had
but then
music, he had sketches, he was interacting with band members the whole time.
But then don't frame it as a comedy special, because it was definitely framed as a comedy special. You know what I mean? Like I think that's where I'm, because it's like that Sandler, the first one we did.
Yeah.
Where it was like,
yeah.
I feel like this John Early special was even less of a special than that Sandler one, because Sandler wasn't incorporating pre-taped sketch bits.
Yeah.
So like now you're doing music, some god-awful music. Although I sort of enjoyed the Neil Young
was pretty good,
cover.
Yep.
The Britney Spears song was just like really hard to watch.
Well, that's when my Crave kept cutting out. And I was like, I just want to finish the damn song.
And then also, like, I felt bad for the band having to just stand there.
They stood there for a lot, holding like the instruments on their shoulders going to be sore.
Like they played one song at the beginning, they played a Britney Spears song halfway through, and then they didn't play again till the very end. Yeah. They stood there for the entire show. Do
you think it's, comedy's become so saturated that, do you think this is, again, this demassification phenomenon where it's like, you gotta differentiate yourself somehow?
I think it's like he has a following from his acting, from the things he does, probably a largely gay following that he knows that he, it's like, it's almost like a marginalized thing.
I'd say it's almost like female. Like all of the laughs I heard were girls.
Okay. Well, yeah.
Yeah,
girls love that shit. And then, it makes sense. Britney Spears and all that. And he is like, you can tell he really like thinks like a girl. You know what I mean? Like, his jokes and stuff like that. Yeah. And, but yeah, I think he knows he's got this following. He knows he can pump something like this out, and he's gonna get a good crowd, and he's gonna get, so I think that's what it is. What I don't think it is like a true comedian grinding out an hour on the road and then having like a killer hour to deliver to the people.
No, but again, I don't think that's what he's going for, and I don't think he clearly doesn't need to do that.
No.
So yeah, I mean, it's
but like a bit of an insult to the art form?
Well, maybe, but I think that's just where we're at now. Like, again, people need to differentiate somehow, and I think doing these different kind of things. And, it's all... HBO definitely takes some chances on some of the stuff they produce as well, right? Like, I've watched some stuff that's been like, I couldn't even comprehend what was happening. But then they'll do, like, just the best of the best stand-ups as well. So they really do a range of programming. Right. But yeah, so all that is to say, he turned it around for me. He won me over.
Yeah.
In an actually pretty big way.
Okay.
Yeah. So it started, I believe, when he did his therapy joke. I thought that was the first real joke that I was like, yeah, that's pretty good. So he's talking about how, he's like, how does anyone ever let their partner leave the house to go to therapy? All they're doing is like sitting down with someone with a master's degree, taking a black light to your personality.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit, that's really like...
insightful.
Yeah, that's really good. Like, and that's the thing, like, I thought towards the end of it, the kind of stuff he was talking about, it was really apparent that this guy is really smart. He's really insightful. Yet the first half an hour, you could have just thought he was some douche off the street fucking around. And there would have been no real evidence to counter that, in my opinion.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Because he does, there was a few things that he said that was like, whoa. Like either, my brain went to either he's got like a writer helping him, or he just has this weird way of like, because there were a few things where like, that he said that were almost brilliant. Like, when he's talking about the ask, what was it? That ask app not to track.
Yeah. Versus allow.
That whole bit versus allow. Yeah, it's like a pop-up.
Oh my God.
Where your options are allow versus ask app not to track, and he broke that down in a way
Yeah.
that was like really clever, I thought.
So brilliant, like with the focus on language. And I'm like,
Yeah.
because I think a lot of comics are really like tuned into language and the words that you use, the syllables, the sounds, the plosives.
Yep.
So for him to go into that, I'm like, yes, like I've been thinking these things all along. But sometimes when you talk to your average Joe about these things, you sound like a fucking crazy person. But like, no, they really did spend billions of dollars on scientists that figured these sounds out in the words.
How do we cause more people to click on allow because it's friendlier than ask app not to track?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was like,
Pretty smart.
At that point, I'm like, oh, this guy is like clearly really, really bright.
Pretty
he just kind of plays like an idiot for the first half of his, whatever. I think at the end of the day, basically what it is like he probably had, because I liked everything for the last, whatever it was, 20 minutes. I thought it was all solid, but it's 20 minutes. It's not a special if it's 20 minutes, it's something else. So he's like, well, let's throw in some songs, do some sketches, we'll round it out. I just think that's what he had 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But I loved it, dude. I loved the ending of it. And the more I thought about it, the more I really liked it. I don't know. It kind of grew on me over time.
He sort of lost me, and this maybe isn't a fault of his. This might be more my ADD. Where like when the piano started playing softly, and he kind of like it was a bit of a lull. Like I couldn't follow him for like that whole time capsule thing with a picture of Rick Moranis with holding a piece of pizza, and then he's talking about a taco.
Yeah.
And then like a Postmates commercial.
Yeah.
I got like I don't know. At that point, I was like, what? I have no idea what he's talking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was on board. I was dialed into that.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yep.
So that's just like a personality thing, right? I think.
Well,
that's your ability to pay attention to things.
I don't know. I think I just really related to what he said a lot in that. So basically,
I actually wrote down, I'm so lost.
Okay, fair.
I wrote Postmates commercial? What is he talking about? I'm so lost.
Well, of course, we don't have Postmates commercials in Canada.
That's another thing. But even like I felt like even like the 10 minutes leading up to that, I was just like, what is he talking about?
To me, it's just like he just went atomic on our generation, which I fucking loved.
Because when he got me back after that was when he was like, they're talking about the word moist, when he says an entire generation of people pretending to hate the word moist.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah. And so like he draws attention to the fact that he is of this generation.
Yeah.
He is including himself in who he's making fun of.
Yeah.
Because that was the other thing. Like I thought that a lot of he really dug his nails in the last half. But a lot of the points he was making, I thought could kind of apply to the first half of his own special. Because he was talking about how like, he's like, are we really like that? Are we really so like just dumb and like fucking millennial? Because he was talking about how commercials and companies will advertise to us in a millennial voice. And be like, oh no, I ordered cupcakes on accident again. Oh, I'm such a dumb, like the millennial, like don't let breakfast bully you into wearing pants.
Right.
And which that kind of goofy whatever personality I felt like was the first half of his special.
Yeah.
But he does call attention to the fact that like, yeah, I am in this group that I'm making fun of right now. And maybe that gives him more license to do so. But like he really dug in, and I really appreciated it.
Yep.
With all the marketing stuff, and like he made the point, which at the time I thought was a bit like, okay, whatever. And whether or not it fits in a comedy special or not, like at the end of the day, I'd rather hear jokes all day. But this point that he said, are we really like that? Or do they just need us to be like that? You start to think about it, right? Like companies pitch their products to us like that, in a way where they think that's how we relate to each other. It's like, oh my God, I'm such a dopey millennial, I do that. But it's like, well, if we act that way, we're gonna be easier to sell things to because we're not necessarily being like empowered.
Yeah.
It's not an empowered mindset that they're feeding us. It's a infantilized mindset.
Yeah.
And again, that's something that like, that's really pertinent point that you don't just stumble across. Like you got to be paying attention to that kind of thing. So that's where I'm like, holy shit, this guy's legit, you know? And he just kept going. Like he was talking about like, I related to all of it. He's like, I feel like the only dance we have anymore is like the Dragon's Den pitch, you know? It's like, oh, this, and oh, here's one for you,
good.
and here's one for, and he turns it in, and I'm like, holy fuck, this guy's fucking brilliant.
Yeah, like, so he's probably like sneaky smart, you know? Because he kind of has like the over-the-top gay thing, right? Where he's like, he sort of has the mannerisms and talks like every other gay person. Not that all. There's a certain amount of gay people who adopt the voice and the mannerisms. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying it doesn't come naturally for them or whatever, but like it's easy to kind of put them in a box, I guess, or whatever. And they kind of like act like ditzy almost. It's almost like the male ditz character. Yeah. You know? But then he pulls out these gems and it's like, oh, he's actually pretty smart.
And you wonder if it's not like how does he talk in real life? If this is not an affectation.
That was another thing I was gonna say, and I know I've said this before about other comedians, is like I didn't feel like I got to know the person.
True. Yeah.
Like I felt like he was kind of playing a character. Yeah. And I didn't really learn anything about the person.
Now, to be fair, I think he is primarily an actor. So like, we shouldn't necessarily be surprised at that. And I think that's maybe like a big differentiation between comics and actors, right? Actors spend all their time pretending to be other people, and comics, like the whole point is to just be yourself, right? So maybe that plays into it a little bit. I don't know. You know what I loved about what he did too? Like, this guy does something that we can't really do, even though we do on this podcast a little bit, but like, he totally ripped into women and gays. And it's we couldn't necessarily do that on stage. No. Like when he was talking about that Facebook post about like, he's making fun of our generation and he talks about, you know, the post you see on Facebook, as a gay man, I've always been told to not take up space, this whole dramatic thing. And he's like, I still send the fire emojis, but like my face is glazed over when I do it. You know what I mean? Like he's totally ripping, but I can't say it.
Right.
But and I was laughing my ass off.
Yeah.
And he rips into like women, I thought too. Like a lot of millennials do have these like sayings. I loved when he was like, just for our contributions to language, we should all be tried at the Hague. You know what I mean?
See, I don't know what that means.
It's the War Crimes Tribunal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like in other words, like we're committing war crimes with our language. Okay. And then he goes into like, what is it? Oh, favorite human, you know, my favorite human. Or, I can't even, you know, I hate the word moist. Or when he's like, when we all die and our gravestones will just read, because cancer.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, I wrote that down too.
Right? Like it's all mine, but mostly women talk that way. Mm-hmm. And this guy just holds nothing back.
Like the Valley Girl thing.
Yeah, and he gets applauded for it. But like if you and I said that on stage, we would get like booed or like at least like a cold shoulder. Yeah. Right? And he's like celebrating. I'm like, God damn, he's got like gay privilege or something.
Well, and I think I made a note of that too, is like especially he like in the States, obviously you can get away with saying a lot more stuff. I find here in Canada, and even Ottawa specifically, I think, well, I don't know, I haven't been to Toronto in a long time, so I don't know. But like, you have to be so careful with what you're saying. You can't come across as punching down, right? Like if you're, like even to just talk about women. Like I remember I did a set once where I was just like mentioning women-themed things, and this woman was like so mad at me.
Do you mean periods, Lee?
I do. I was talking periods. I was talking about breastfeeding. I think I've talked about it on the podcast before, but whatever. I was talking about periods and breastfeeding in a funny way, not in a way that was like slandering women at all. It was about how like if men got their periods, how gross that would be and whatever. But it was just the fact that I was talking about women, and she was like hated it. Like you have in this like sort of social political climate, you have to be like basically Nate Bargatze. Like you have to be so clean and like you can't touch those. You can, I guess, but you got to do it really carefully, you know?
Yeah, I don't know.
Do you disagree?
Kind of. I see what you're saying, but I think there's ways to get over it, get around it, and also just always consider the location of the room and the demo you're playing to. Like, it does make a difference if you're playing in Centertown in Ottawa versus the Valley. Like, folks out there don't give a hoot. You could not that it's good or bad, but it's way different. They do not hold back out there. They don't get offended. They want more of everything.
Where do you mean?
Go to Renfrew. Go to you know.
Well, no, but oddly enough, this woman who was mad at me for talking about periods, that was in Osgood.
Well, yeah, I mean,
farm country.
Sometimes you just get random weirdos too, right? Like,
she was hammered too.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyways, that was just a thought. I didn't mean to sideline the whole thing.
No.
But and then the last song that John Early did was also terrible.
I thought it was a weird flex to show how high he could hit harmonies, like without much more than that.
But like, he's not a great.
It wasn't great. No,
he's not a great singer. Like like.
Lee can say that. Lee's a good singer. I can't because I'm not.
You're a good singer. I'm a decent singer, but even with my songwriting and musical abilities, if I was to do a stand-up special, I wouldn't include music. I don't think I'm that good. I wouldn't be like, oh, well, these people need to hear me sing too.
Yeah.
But
again, I think it was just like variety show. Like he's got 20 minutes of jokes.
Well, and that's the fun of being gay too. I think if I was gay, I'd be like putting it all out there, right?
What do you mean, like doing show tunes?
I'm generalizing. I'm just saying gay people seem to be like they don't hold back. Even if they're like so at singing, they're going to show you on their special. They're fearless.
I don't know.
No. Maybe I'm talking out of turn. I don't know.
I didn't think the last song was the best way.
I guess what I'm getting at is like why are you even singing and doing the whole music thing? It's like
I think you needed to fill an hour.
Yeah.
But I thought Neil Young was good. But more so because of the choice of the song. Because he went right from all of that millennial trashing into this like beautiful, like it felt such a seamless transition.
And like a very pertinent song.
Yeah, like too. Look at Mother Nature.
And he set it up. It was well set up with all that underlying piano leading up to it.
Yeah.
And then
Now to be fair, he's got
a moment.
2 incredible backup singers accompanying him on basically that whole song.
Yeah.
But I liked that song. That was cool.
Yeah.
Especially like you didn't expect Neil Young to come out of this guy.
No.
You know what I mean? Like
no.
That was quite a pull.
So you didn't like I did like the sketch about getting the band members to show them how to play different instruments.
Yeah, that was all right.
Can you get behind me? Like
yeah, like playing golf.
And then the HR lady comes.
Yeah,
like maybe
the lemon square thing. I was like, this is retarded.
It was.
Yeah. And none of it. I found again. I didn't really. The only thing I laughed at was the thought of you watching it for the first half an hour. But the last half, I loved it, man. Yeah.
Yeah, sneaky, a bit sneaky smart.
Well, also, okay, so it's like, it's clear that he's got the ability to do this if he wanted to. It just seems like he's got multiple pursuits in his life. He's an actor, somewhat of a musician, and does comedy. If he only wanted to do comedy, I think he's got the chops, but I think he's got a lot of, irons in the fire.
Well, and that's the thing, right? Like if you've achieved a certain level in other areas of show business, it seems like anyone can kind of like, if you're an actor, if you've got the fans, if you're comfortable in front of people, if you're kind of funny, you can kind of chop together a stand-up special or a variety show of some type, and people will.
I literally wrote down as a note, actors doing stand-up, smiley face. Like, what are we doing? Like that was in the first 10 minutes of the show. I'm like,
Yeah.
what's happening?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because they do that. Like, Stormy Daniels does stand-up now, right?
She was porn star, wasn't she?
Yeah, that Trump had a thing with.
You peed on her or something?
Yeah, something like that. And now she's telling yucks. Maybe she's awesome. I don't know. I've never seen her, but it's just the fact that like sometimes people stand up as their plan B.
Steve-O is a good example of that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Although again, I've never seen him. I don't know how good he is. I have no idea. Screech was doing it for a while, I think.
Yeah.
Dustin Diamond.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a funny. That was his real name, Dustin Diamond.
I know. It's a porn star name.
That's
for sure.
Or at least a stripper.
Yeah. Yeah. But he was always known to the world as Screech. I think it tore him up inside.
But I heard that his stand-up was actually pretty decent.
So sweet, yeah. It can happen. You can learn.
Yeah.
Right? It's just, it does feel disrespectful when it's like people's fallback plan.
Yeah. When you hear, like, when you kind of know the art form to a certain extent, when you realize how hard people work on cobbling together an hour of, like, you know, and you see some of the other specials we've watched where it's just like an hour of bangers, like, you know, like when you even the last two we've done, you know, when you put the bits of Greg Fitzsimmons compared to John Early's jokes, it's like you have these like real bits that you can tell, like, you know, they come from a comedic mind, to John Early where we're sort of just giving him props for, like, you know, smart observations.
Yeah, in a way. Yeah. I see what you're saying.
Like it lowers the bar. We're like, you know, you're like, yeah, he won me over and I did like this, but it's like, it still doesn't.
I got time for
hold
it.
flame to like a real comedian.
I got time for it. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
It seems peripheral in a sense.
Yeah.
But I got time for it.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I like that scathing kind of shit too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, jokes are hard, and typically, like I said at the beginning of this season, the first episode, jokes are hard to write and to polish and to develop. And I think a lot of people will take any little side thing that they can to kind of divert away from the fact that, like,
especially if you're trying to fill time.
Yeah, of course, right?
Yeah.
So whether that's skits or music or
which is the opposite perspective that I have, because at my level, I'm getting 6-minute spots, 7 if I'm lucky. So I'm like, how many real jokes can I cram into 6 minutes?
But I think you and me are joke guys, right?
Yeah,
so we're
true.
always going to be looking at it through that lens. See, and we care about stand-up.
Yeah,
I don't know if John Early cares as much as us.
No,
to be fair.
Yeah,
he doesn't need it. I think he just wrote a play for Broadway that's not even like comedic. It's like a drama.
Right.
Like, he's doing just fine with that.
He's just doing whatever he wants. That's another,
You know?
And which is crazy because I'd never heard his name before.
No.
I don't know what he's in.
But this gets back to what I'm saying, where it's like,
I think my wife said she recognized him from something.
Yeah. It's like the old days of physical media. You got something off the shelf, you paid for it, you're committed, you watched it till the end, whether it sucked or not, whatever you thought of it. There's no way I would have made it through that special if we weren't doing it for this show.
Same.
Which is the beauty of this show.
Yeah, I agree. And I felt that way. And also, because then you get those payoffs too, you know? Mm-hmm. You're like, I hated the first 10 minutes. And then it got into the middle towards the end, and I'm like, there's actually something here. And then you get to the end, and you're like, you know what? I actually kind of fucking enjoyed that.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I wouldn't have. I would have skipped something else, and I would have watched 10 minutes of that, and then I would have ended up actually watching nothing because I would have just been
defeated. Time for bed.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's a real problem. Like my My wife and I don't even really watch shows together anymore because we can't even like decide on something that we both want to watch.
That's tough.
Like, that's crazy. I remember coming home from school and watching like the shittiest TV.
Oh,
I mean, not Aladdin, obviously, but like and we never had cable either growing up. Like we had like 3 channels and 2 of them were French.
The beauty of people our age, the CBC who showed The Simpsons at 5 o'clock for like a decade straight there. It was amazing.
I wasn't allowed to watch.
No, you're not one of those guys.
Yeah.
Oh, God damn it. You're so deprived. I feel so bad when I hear people say, my girlfriend was like that. Her parents wouldn't let her watch The Simpsons. I'm like, oh, you poor people.
You know what my dad would do? I'd be watching The Simpsons and he would walk in the room and I would know that and then he would stand there and watch it with me for a few minutes.
Yeah.
And then he'd laugh.
Yeah.
He'd go, I'd hear like a genuine laugh.
Yeah.
He'd be watching and then he'd go, okay, turn it off.
Damn it. How ironic is that? He's hooked after watching for 30 seconds.
But I was always like, but man, they always used, I don't know, they probably still do. They used to come after Christianity so relentlessly.
Simpsons,
and I was always like, oh, why do you do it? Don't stop doing that so I can watch it.
Because they pull no punches. There's nobody that they don't take the piss out of, and that's why they're amazing.
So I don't, people are always dropping Simpsons references and stuff like that, and I don't get them.
Go back. It's worth it. Yeah. It is. Go get yourself a DVD player.
Like when did Conan write? What season?
Like, I think early, like 4, I want to say, through, I could be way off.
Is that the?
It's a golden age for sure.
Yeah.
There's good stuff throughout. There's a couple stinking seasons. I can't remember. I think in the late teens or something like that, where it really dipped.
The new stuff is good.
I've tried. It's like very. They draw from so many places. Like they'll do like a whole episode that's in the style of like Russian theater. So many of the references are like so far beyond me, but it's like high art. Yeah. It's good. It doesn't always land for me.
I should get into the symptoms. The symptoms.
Bro, get after it.
We used to call it the symptoms because we didn't know.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sims. That's what. Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what the nice thing.
Poor motherfucker. Sorry. It hurts my heart. It hurts my heart.
No, but you know what's nice about it? I have jokes about it that I've done before, but I'll be driving somewhere with my wife and I'll hear a song come on the radio from like the 80s or 90s and I'm like, this is an absolute banger. Yeah. And she's like, you don't know this song, like.
What do you mean?
Like it'll be like Billie Jean by Michael Jackson,
and you've never heard it.
And that's a stretch, But like, well, no. To be honest, I think I really clocked Billie Jean. I was probably in my late 20s when I was like, wow, that's a banger.
Oh, me too. No, Michael Jackson took me a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But were you not allowed to listen to some music?
But yeah, I think for a different reason for me, it's because it was only the second or third time I'd ever heard it.
So what music couldn't you listen to?
My dad had Beach Boys and Beatles records.
Yeah.
Those were okay.
Yeah.
So thank God for the Beatles and Beach Boys.
For sure.
But other than that, it was like gospel. It was gospel music.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Like what kind of gospel music? Like any
contemporary as
bands?
well as old, like the old hymns, but then also contemporary, but like 80s contemporary, right? Like, so like worship music, really.
Man, oh man. What about all the like resurgence of like the Christian rock and like the 2000s, like the POD and the Creed and all that? Were you into that? By that point, you were
by that point, I was
off on your own.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is fascinating to me.
Yeah. So I have an interesting perspective, I think.
And yet, I've heard you play at shows. You've got a good repertoire and a pretty solid knowledge base of music.
Yeah, well, I went deep once I,
making up for lost time.
Making up for lost time, yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. But it's cool, like, and you know what's funny too, even like, being sheltered or whatever aside, once I was able to kind of like do what I wanted, I was so, I had such a narrow lane for the things that I liked, and that's opened up too. So now it's like, I'm going back to like bands that I used to write up. Like you used to like a lot of the 90s punk rock stuff
For
too,
sure.
right? Like Strung Out, Face to Face, a lot of that stuff. I had such like a narrow lane where like even if it was like within the genre, if it was like too metally or whatever, I thought I would like wouldn't be into it. And, like,
Interesting.
but it's cool because now I can go back and
Fill it out a little bit. Yeah.
and I like almost listen to it with new ears.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is kind of fun.
God damn, man. That's so interesting. We could talk about music for a whole episode too.
We could.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a different podcast.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Well, yeah, any last words on, or sorry.
Was there any comedy? Like you probably wouldn't have been allowed to watch stand-up.
So we had Christian,
Oh, yeah.
dude, there's a big one. His name's Mark Lowry.
Okay.
He was like the Christian comic. I don't think I ever saw him live, but I do remember having a cassette tape that my family would listen to on like car rides or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was like a compilation of different like Christian stand-ups.
Yeah.
And it was my favorite ever, man.
Nice.
I loved it so much.
Nice.
Because they were kind of making fun of not spirituality or, you know, God or Jesus or whatever, but just like more like the religious aspect of it, like church and preaching and stuff like that. Some of it was like that. Yeah.
My dad took me to a comedy show one time in Sault Ste. Marie, which we didn't really have comedy shows. So I was like,
Right.
fuck yeah, let's go to a comedy show. Like,
Yeah.
he's like, some guy from work gave him to me. I'm like, oh, cool. So we go and the guy comes out and I'm like, I've never seen comedy. Like, I'm stoked. I must have been like, maybe 9 years old, something like that. Guy comes out, does like probably 2 minutes. It's pretty good. I'm like, yeah, all right. And then he just got all churchy. He didn't even do jokes. It was just a ploy to get you so that he could sell you on Christianity.
Stand-up, come see my stand-up.
That's the thing about Christians. They're sneaky sometimes. They'll sell it as one thing and then they're like, oh, Jesus, gotcha. Fucking Christians.
They used to do these outreach things where, yeah, you would bring in kids and teenagers because, you know, in the church gymnasium there would be like pizza for everybody and like, you know, a bouncy house or whatever and like all this stuff. But I think it's good intent. You know, they're just trying to spread the word.
No, because it said comedy show.
Oh, yeah,
And he had
that's not cool. That's not cool.
It's not cool. It's a bait and switch.
One of my, I think probably my first experience with live comedy would have been this Christian piano. I think he was like a piano player. He was like a classically trained piano player who had his own sort of Christian contemporary songs. His name was David Meese, like Meece, and he had long hair. And he played, I think, at the theater in the university, at Laurentian University in Sudbury. And I was just a kid. I was probably like 10 or 11 or something like that. But man, did he crush. For what he was doing, for me to be as engaged as I was, because he was funny.
Yeah.
He had he was like a comedian / musician / storyteller. He had stories about like his piano teacher was like really hard on him. And training him in that, and then he would like, you know, sort of set up his own songs, but his stories were funny and he had jokes throughout the night, and then he was an incredible piano player as well, and like, man, that was I'll never forget that show, and like that was years ago.
Well, the idea of like holding an audience's attention captive for an hour or so, that is a preacher sermon kind of vibe, and it translates directly into stand-up comedy. A lot of the greats. Chris Rock said when he's getting ready to tape a special, he watches a couple comedians, but mostly he watches preachers.
Well,
because they got the vibe, they got the energy, they got the passion, and you can see it in Chris Rock, right? Sam Kinison, all these folks that came from that church upbringing, right?
So here's what it is, maybe. A musician, a solid musician, learning, like getting into stand-up comedy to elevate their live shows is like, They should all be doing that.
Yeah.
Actually, I have a friend.
Yeah.
I have a friend who, well, actually, I don't know her that well, but someone I know who is a terrific musician. She sings beautifully. She plays nice, but she's kind of timid.
Yeah.
And she was sort of reaching about it, like, how do I go about kind of getting into that world? I told her about the classes at Absolute. Like I said, well, you can either just come up, like write 6 minutes and go to a mic and do it.
Yep.
It's that easy, really. Or you can take a class, whatever. But yeah, but the other way around, if you're a comic and you're like, oh, I'm just gonna throw some live music into my show.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. It works both ways. So at Meow.
They work great together. I'm just
Yeah.
saying, I think that if you're an actual musician, you're gonna benefit greatly from learning some whatever you can about.
Yeah. But I don't know if any actual solid like touring stand-up comedians are like, well, maybe some of them do jokey songs. Like, yeah, let's throw in a song here and there. We used to do a show at Meow that was like a complete open stage. So you'd have musicians and comedians, and each one of us, when we looked at sometimes there'd be like a crossover, like a comedian trying to do some music and musician doing some jokes, because it was very mix and match.
Yeah.
And you got the sense that both communities were like, shut the fuck up, just do what you do. Stay in your lane.
Stay in your lane.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't have any feelings like that at all. I feel like,
I'm here for all of it, but
Yeah.
but there's definitely, you can tell the difference between someone just dabbling versus
for sure.
Yeah.
And like, how far are we gonna go before you can no longer frame it as a stand-up special? You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Because it's getting to the point where it's like, okay, you're doing music, you're doing a bit of stand-up, and then you've got all these sketches cut into it. It's like, is that a special anymore?
Well, I mean, a lot of specials have had sketches cut in throughout.
I guess so.
That's an old thing.
I guess so.
But I see what you're saying. And I think it has to flow over the bounds of traditional, because there's just so much of it now. You got to differentiate somehow. And I think that's just, again, yeah, it gets to the point where it's like, what's the future of comedy look like?
I mean, it's kind of exciting too, right?
Well, there's going to be different opportunities and different
I do like,
pushing boundaries. That's fun.
It's funny. It's almost like, as a consumer, I want rules. I want it to be like, keep it in this box. I want it to be the same. But then as like a creator, I'm excited at like the fact that you can kind of do whatever you want.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. As long as it's, just make something good. That's it, right?
Yeah.
People are there for the good shit.
Yeah. Sweet.
Right on.
Yeah.
Season 1, bro.
That's a wrap.
In the can.
Heck yeah.
We got some ideas for upcoming seasons. You know, I don't know if we're ready to drop the word just yet, but stay tuned, because there's going to be some exciting little fun themes coming up.
Developments.
Yeah, dude.
You could say that.
Evolution of the pod. So anyway, It's been a hoot. Let's keep rocking
Absolutely.
in the free world.
Yeah. See you on season 2.
Yeah, dude.
Sweet.
All right. Thanks, guys.